They're not into you. They're not into you enough to do anything with you.
All right, Jen, so today we're talking about how to know if a woman likes you. Now, some of you guys think you know, but today's video, we're going to get into the woman's mind because I'm bringing a woman on. Marni, the wing girl, is here to join us to answer the question, how to specifically tell what cues you want to pick up on, the things you need to be looking for.
There are a million ways to tell if a girl likes you, but really the biggest way to tell if a girl likes you is if she does, meaning that she participates in conversation with you. She turns her body towards you. She agrees to go out with you and actually shows up. She responds to your text when you text her. She initiates texts with you. And I remember when I first started dating my husband, the things that I would do to show that I liked him. And it wasn't like I was trying to do these things. They were just happening in my body. I found him to be the funniest person in the world. I laughed at everything that he did. I always made sure that I was facing him. Like I didn't have my body language turned away from him. I had my face towards him. I was smiling. I was beaming. I was making my eyes be as large as possible. I was twirling my hair to make myself look as feminine as possible. I was engaged and I was doing all of the things that I listed before. I was responding to him. I was going out with him. I was taking action to show that I liked him. So a lot of guys think that women are playing games and they're playing hard to get. Most often, if women aren't doing those things, if they're not responding to you quickly, if they're responding to you with really short responses after a long period of time, if they're not agreeing to go on dates with you, if they don't show up or cancel dates continuously, that's a sign that they don't like you. They're not swayed yet. They're not into you. They're not into you enough to do anything with you.
Now, I think there's some interesting points in there in the sense of they're not swayed enough. So the idea is, and I think with a lot of men, is that we get infatuated perhaps with a particular woman. We just, for some reason, there are many other options out there, yet this is the one we think we want, and we zero in and we try to make this work. Do you feel that actually is a tactic that can work, or do you feel it's one that the vast majority of the time does not?
It depends on how confident that guy is, how comfortable he is, and what other options he has. If he's a guy who gets fixated on people without really having reasons to be fixated on them and doesn't have a lot of other options, therefore he's going to be fixated on the one woman that he finds attractive and engaging, that's no good for him. He's going to keep persisting and pursuing that woman without having any knowledge of how to actually pursue her. He's going to end up bugging her. He's going to end up scaring her a little bit, and he's going to end up totally putting her off and ultimately kind of pissing her off because he's not going to pursue with confidence.
Really quick, gents, you enjoying today's video, how to tell if a woman likes you? But let me ask, what happens before that? What? She has to notice you. When you walk into that room, whenever you walk into that coffee shop, she has to actually see you, and she's going to make a quick evaluation. Are you her type? Are you attractive? What is she going to look at? She's going to look at what she can see. Human beings are very visual. So she's going to measure you up. She's going to look at you, and one of the easiest ways to improve your appearance is to wear a jacket. Now, I know a lot of guys don't want to wear a sports jacket. Maybe you feel it's too hot to wear a jacket most of the times of the year, but here's the thing. You need to get the right jacket. This lightweight jacket here is beautiful. I can wear it 4 seasons. And what does a jacket do? Builds up the shoulders. It makes me look taller, slims up my silhouette, makes my hands look larger. All of these things are great to make a man look more masculine. In addition, notice the material here on this jacket. We've got this maroon suede. Now, guys, I'm coming out with a line of jackets here very soon. Seriously, down in the description of today's video, I've got an email list you can join to get on the early bird list. Guys, in about a week, we are launching June 15th with these amazing jackets. Basically, these jackets make you look like a badass. I don't know how else to say it. They're all made with suede, buttery suede that's just beautiful. Right here, check out the zipper thing. I love this right here because it gives the illusion, it brings together the midsection. This is a versatile jacket, and and we're doing a limited run. This is literally a $2,000 jacket that we're going to sell at a fraction of the price. Why? Because I got to test the market. I got to see if there is anyone interested in this. So guys, go check it out. Again, the link is down in the description. I'm doing this in collaboration with my friends over at JL Rocha. These are beautiful jackets. Yeah, I could talk about this all day, but again, just check out the link down in the description, and really excited about this project. All right, guys, without further ado, let's get back to the content. Now, what I like about your advice, Marni, is that you actually come from a background of experience. You come from a background. I mean, you've got videos out there, which we will link to down in the description, guys. I mean, she's got millions and millions of views because your advice is solid. It's built off experience. It's built off of actually talking with women and interviewing them, and specifically, hey, finding out what they want. Yeah, the data behind all this. Can you talk a little bit more about your background and how you got into this?
Yes, I honestly got into this on a whim. Before I explain that story, I'll tell you that my background is in psychology, and I have always been fascinated with human beings. I have been an observer for my entire life. I have been a questioner as well, and I am completely ego-free. I like being open, and I like people to be open with me. Therefore, I really like asking people a lot of questions. That's the background on me, who I am as a human being. But when I moved over to Los Angeles, I went to a singles mixer at a rabbi's house with my best friend who was newly single. And I had just met my husband like 2 weeks before, and I was still kind of curious. I was like, okay, I like him, but let's see who else is out there. So I went with her to this singles mixer, and we walked in, and like men were on one side of the room, women were on another side. It was not for religious reasons that they were separated. They literally were not interacting with each other. And so I was feeling horrible because my newly single friend was not getting approached by men. And it wasn't because they weren't attracted to her. We could see them looking over at her. It was because they didn't have the confidence or comfort level to approach her. So I went and I grabbed the guys that were giving her those looks, and I brought them over to her. I helped facilitate the conversation. And when things were going well, I would back off. And then, after I looked around for myself and realized I liked my now husband, I started doing it for other people there and started connecting them. And then I went home and I said to my friend and my roommate, I really liked what I did tonight. I want to be a wing girl. And my roommate said, I don't know what a wing girl is, but if it has anything to do with women advising men on women, no man is going to want that information. They don't care what women think. And I said, you're absolutely wrong. I do not think you're right. I put an ad on Craigslist at 1:30 in the morning, went to bed. The next morning, I had over 75 guys who were interested in hiring me as a wing girl. Yeah, that's how I started. And then after about 6 months, I stopped doing live services and I switched over to doing at-home programs and systems and coaching for men, because I started to realize that so many men that would hire us would spend half the time just asking us questions about women. And I really believed, after doing all of this wing girl work, that you're not really a man if you need a woman to introduce you to women. So I wanted to help guys do this on their own. So I became obsessed with learning the psychology of attraction, of understanding how women work, how men work, conversation tools, how just basic relationships between men and women work. I've interviewed over 7,000 women by now. So I really dove in to find out and figure out what's going on between genders, and then really wanted to give these guys actionable advice on how to be really successful with women. And I give them every single baby step because I know that it's challenging and difficult to do this.
Well, let's take a step with those baby steps, and let's go back, because the question here is, how do you know specifically that a woman likes you? And your answer is solid. I completely agree, because she actually does. And she's going to go through all of these she's going to show you that she likes you. But let's specifically talk, because a lot of people nowadays are meeting online. So let's talk about the communication that you're going to see online, whether you slip into her DMs, whether it's just something you're texting back and forth. Can you talk about communication that you would expect to see specifically and be able to tell if somebody's interested?
So her asking you questions, so if you write her a message and you ask a question in it, she will not just respond to the question, like very briefly, she'll actually engage in the question. So that's the difference. It's her actually giving you a full answer rather than just giving a top line answer. That's the difference between the way that men and women communicate. Men communicate in data points. They give like top line information like ESPN Sports, right? That's how they communicate back and forth. Women will go that level deeper. They expand on the things that they're saying and tell you the whys, what they feel about it. That's an expanded conversation. So when a woman is giving you an expanded response that has some emotion in it, that has a little bit of personal information in it, that's when she's more engaged. And then if she asks you a question as follow-up, she's engaged. Doesn't mean she fully likes you yet. It still just means that she's curious, and you can build on that.
Now, do you need to go to a woman's type of communication, or do you want to stick with what you are? If you're an ESPN, like you're just putting out the highlights kind of person, and she is giving you a lot more detail, do you need to actually match her type of conversation?
100%. And the older that you get, the more you need to match her style of conversation. When you're like in your 20s, like 25 and under, ESPN styles will work. But 25 and up is going to need a little bit more information. She's going to get frustrated if she keeps giving you this expanded information and you only come back with like a headline.
Now, can you change the way that you're communicating? Let's say that she's doing it via text and I'd rather talk to you on the phone about this or see you in person. And
exactly what you just said. That's exactly what you said. I'm liking this conversation that we're having, but it's more of a phone conversation. What's your number? Sure. You are in control. That's the difference. So many guys will go online or go out in the real world and they'll think, I'll take whatever I can get. You're going to give something to me? Okay, I'm happy with that. Rather than going in and realizing that they can be selective as well. They can pick and choose who they want. They can say, nah, I don't like your values. I don't like your style. I don't like your sense of humor. They are also a participant in dating. They don't just have to tap dance for the women. Both of you are getting to know each other and then selecting whether or not I want to go to that next level with you.
Can you talk a little bit more about that? Because I think that's a key point. And so many guys out there, especially with low confidence or those that haven't dated much, they think that, it's the woman that selects versus, but on the other side, there's the man that chooses who he's going to go after. Can you talk a little bit more about how a guy can build up that confidence so that he can realize it's just part of the game?
Okay, so I want to read you this list of mindsets. So it was part of the masterclass. Sorry that I'm like scrolling while you're talking to me. I was not just answering text while you were talking to me. But on this masterclass, we were talking about how to cold approach. So I do 2-hour masterclasses every month. I bring on a different expert I know everybody who's in the world of dating right now, and I know who's the best, and I know who is really good at specific topics. So I bring them on to do a masterclass. So Jared came on and he was talking about how to cold approach, and he gave a million tips. We were on for 2 hours, but at the end, he gave this list of mindsets that I thought were amazing. You start to believe these things about yourself, and you believe them by repeatedly telling them to yourself and living them as well. So number 1, I am comfortable being uncomfortable. Number 2, it's all just a game. Number 3, it's all a skill and I'm here for the skill, not the result. Number 4, action is always better than inaction. Number 5, allow yourself to be garbage now so you'll be a legend later. That means it's okay to fail. You can look stupid, but every single failure, every single rejection is building up to success.
I would change that one to actually read, it's okay to be a failure now so you'll be a legend later.
See, me too. I didn't like the garbage one.
I don't like the garbage one.
But I thought the meaning behind it was great.
Yeah.
It's not about tonight. It's about every night after. I love that one. Perception is reality, right? So if you perceive yourself as a loser who can't get girls, everybody else is going to as well. If you perceive yourself as a successful man with women.
Oh, yeah. If you don't believe in yourself, why should anyone else?
Okay. Number 8, my growth is more important than anyone's comfort. That was a good one. Number 9, it's not what you say, it's what you convey. That's very true for women. In women, it is not about looks. Looks is not listed as the number 1 thing that women are attracted to. It's about who you are. Number 10, it's no big deal. Number 11, I don't want the world to be easier. I want myself to be stronger.
Yep.
Love that one. Number 12, if I rush, I fumble. So do things quickly, take action, but don't rush through them. Number 13, I don't see problems, only solutions. Number 14, I get stuff done fast. Number 15, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. Number 16, stumble, don't fall. Number 17, only thing I remember is I'll forget. Number 18, do you want to be good or do you want to be right? Number 19, whatever it takes. Number 20, how to move a mountain. Number 21, I utilize every resource. And number 22, F your excuses. I love this. Like, if you read this every single day, how can you not feel great when you walk out the door? And if you need a reminder, you go back and you look at that list.
Now, getting back to the main subject about how to tell if she likes you. We talked about communication, and what about speed of communication?
Here's one thing. I will say that there aren't games that people play. I don't like to call them games, but there's messages being given to women as well, that if you're too responsive and too available and you're too eager, it's too much and it's too needy and a guy's not going to like you. On the flip side, men also get that information sent to them. So women in the very beginning may not reply instantly. They might, which is fine, but they might be a little bit slower to respond. But I would say most often if a girl is into you, again, depending on her age and depending on her lifestyle, most often if a girl's into you, she's going to respond in that first hour, maybe first 2 hours. If she happens to be like 40 plus or a single mom, it may be something where she responds to these kinds of messages at the end of the day. So it might take an entire day for her to respond, but she would never let it go for another day or 2 days if she wasn't interested. You have to gauge who the person is, what their lifestyle is, and then take into account how quickly they would be able to respond and the type of response that they're giving to you.
How do you accept the fact that, like, gosh, I'm just not going to be able to get this one? Like you felt that you hit it off. You felt that, like, that was a great conversation. In your mind, there was a connection there, but you're seeing something like this. Is it just something you've got to say, hey, there are plenty of other options out there?
And the truth is, if you're a confident guy, you can say that to her. And sometimes it'll switch things around. Like, listen, I interact with a lot of women, but there was something different about you that I really liked. I would like to take a shot with this. I'm really interested in getting to know you. Is that something that you're interested in?
Let's change up the conversation a bit. Let's talk about how you can tell if a woman likes you when you're in person, you're engaging. You meet her at a party, you meet her at a get together, you meet her at a club. Like, how do you know that, what are the little things to look for to be able to tell that she's interested?
Well, she shows nervousness. So for me right now, my mouth is so dry right now. I'm probably a bit nervous talking to you, to be honest. Things like that, like they're not as hydrated and they're a little bit nervous or drinking a lot of water. They're playing with their hair and fidgeting. Things like she's laughing at all your jokes, even when they're not funny.
Okay.
Right? It's like the easiest audience in the entire world. I will tell you, there are times as well with certain women. I know for me, there were times when it wouldn't be when I was engaged in conversation with a guy that I liked. If we were in conversation, I would never pretend to not like him or be disinterested. I would try to be really funny, really interesting, and I would probably trip over my words if I liked him. But prior to us talking to each other, I would probably do my best not to show him that I'm looking at him. But if you're quick enough, you can catch women looking at you. So if I really like somebody, I'm looking at them until they look at me, and then I don't want to show them that I've been looking at them, and I'll try to make myself look really interesting. I'll try to make myself look really vibrant and fun and laughing. My gestures will be a little bit bigger with my friends. I will ask for your help when I don't need it. Like, I'm a very strong woman, but certain times when I've gone to places, this is when I was single, and there was a guy that I wanted to start talking to, I would ask him to like lift and move a chair for me, even though I was fully capable of doing that for myself. Those are some of the most basic things to look for.
So let's talk opposite side. If she's giving these indicators, this is probably a sign that she's not interested. You've approached, you've started a conversation. How can you know that, okay, this is probably not going to go anywhere and I need to retreat?
She's deadpan. She is not going to give you any sort of feminine feature, right? She's not going to give you smiles. She's not going to lean forward. She's not going to widen her eyes to you. She's going to make herself seem as dull as possible. She is going to give very short responses and probably polite responses. Some women are a little bit ruder to get the message across. I'm pretty polite. So most often I will smile for the first few sentences. And then when I'm like, okay, I want you to get away from me, I will take my tone down and be kind of monotone, actually, give short responses and little emotion in my voice to you. I'll turn my body language away from you. I will agree to go with my friends if they pull me over in some way. If I like a guy and my friend wants to pull me over, I'm like, no, you go away. I don't care if your house is burning down. I'm talking to this guy that I like. You're just saying like the first interaction, like things that they could look for. It's really just not engaging. It's just not engaging with you. There's women who are, tough to crack, but they're giving you something. They're giving you challenges to see how you can do with them. They're giving you something.
All right. Well, Marni, I think we hit quite a few things in today's video. I'm going to, down in the description of today's video, I'm going to link to additional videos over on your channel, some great stuff. And so thank you so much for coming on and, just dropping some knowledge. And guys, again, you can find her channel down in the description. I'm going to link over to it. And Marni, thank you so much.
Thank you. I had a great time.
Now, gents, if you enjoyed that video, check out this one right here. I've got the 13 sexiest fragrances on the planet. Okay, and to be honest, I give you more than 13 fragrances. So if you want to find out what the sexiest fragrances are, you want to check out this video right here.